the game. So if I'm not on or if she's not on, somebody will definitely be on to commentate for you guys and provide some kind of hype.
That's right. Ooh. Here we are getting button check all ready to go and getting situated. One thing I love about this game so much is you're able to use the customs in the game during your competitions. That's crazy. In a lot of games, you're just not allowed to do that because it does create different type of hitboxes, and especially with obscuring hitboxes. This one is like, put on a wedding dress, have a good time. I love it.
One thing that I am seeing right now is I want you guys to know that Terra Rock is not here. Terra Rock is not coming down from Japan to compete, guys. So you guys can, you know, I don't want you guys to assume that he's here just because he's in the brackets. You guys definitely have to check with some people at the event. Terra Rock is not here. He's not going to be competing. So I'm sorry to let you guys down, but he's not going to be here, unfortunately. But we still have other great players here as well. I see Tai Chi Flow. We got Black Moon Rising out there. We got Big Dame. You guys know Big Dame, big supporter of the FGC in general. So, you know, we got some pretty hype matches, man. I do want to talk about the system a little bit before we get started. Hopefully we can get a little bit talked about. If you guys don't know, Dead or Alive 6 operates off of a meter gauge now. So with the meter gauge, unlike a lot of other games, you can't EX, you can't super your normals, okay? There is an auto combo that people like to call the auto combo, but it is the Fatal Rush. You don't need any meter to execute it. It is going to be a high on startup. It is going to be a tracking move on startup. It is completely unsafe on block. Once you initiate the Fatal Rush, it is completely unsafe. If you do a Fatal Rush on block, it's completely unsafe. It only works if you make contact with your opponent if they're not blocking. You can do it in stun as well. You can actually combine a Fatal Stun, which could be a sit-down stun, mix that up with another Fatal Stun, which can be a Fatal Rush attack as well. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways to combine your attacks against your opponent in this game, and it's actually really sick to see how some people implement it into the game. The one thing I do want to see people use more, and I was talking to Maestro about it as well, when your opponent has no meter, I want to see people take advantage of them using the Fatal Rush when their opponent has no meter, because again, you need meter to get out. So the meter is used in a couple different ways. You can use meter to get out of a Fatal Stun, which can be the sit-down stun of the Fatal Rush as well. You need meter to get out of those stuns. And no meter, you're going to get launched, you're going to get bodied.
So also what he means by he was talking about when getting out of those stuns is when using your meter, it uses actually one half of your meter. It's called, sorry, I was saying break flow for a second, but that's your full meter.
Yep,
it's break hold. So it's like you have different types of holds in the game. You have your regular holds and you have your advanced holds. Those ones can usually combo into other stuff as well. But then you have the one that actually costs meter as well, which just covers it all for you. So
there you go. So, and the cool thing about the break hold is, and I'm liking it, a lot of people are complaining about it, and the more and more I play the game, the more and more I realize the use for it. When you have yourself in a situation where you just don't feel like guessing and stun, the break hold not only gets you out of fatal stuns, it also gets you out of any stun that's any hit level. So that means if you're stunned by a high, if you're stunned by a mid or a low, or you can actually do it in a normal state too. If your character's not in a stun state, if you're just playing it neutral, you can actually get out of the entire pressure game with the break hold as well. So, you know, it's a really good tool, especially for the newer players in the game, because I know that a big complaint before was that people just couldn't deal with the stun system. They couldn't get out of stun. They didn't know how to implement the stagger escape, which is gone. Stagger escaping was in DOA, and it was gone. It was taken out. And the break hold, I feel like, is a good replacement for that. So I'm not sure if we have a button check going on right now. We have Katsu up there. I'm not sure who his opponent is. This looks like they could be fighting. I'm not sure.
I think we're actually...
Nah, this is a button check. Okay. So for those of you guys that don't know Katsu, he's representing the Free Step Dodge brand there. Katsu is one of the tournament organizers for Dead or Alive. He's been helping out with the Dead or Alive community for a long time now. Long-time supporter of the game. He goes and picks people up from the airports and things like that. Big supporter, one of the biggest supporters of the DOA community in my opinion. And he's going to be competing here to add to the numbers as well in the bracket. I don't know who his opponent is though.
Same, but good on him for just being so loyal to the community and putting all that effort into, especially when it comes to coming to events, guys. Coming to events, showing your support, competing and having a great time is so important. Make sure you come out to these events as much as you possibly can. And also for those of you guys watching at home in general, we thank you so much for your support too, especially when it comes to a game just launching and keeping that support all the way through. When it comes to the community, the longer you stay, the better it is, the more we have fun. So let's get it rocking. Here we go.
And I definitely want to give another shout out to Big E, of course. Big E, if those of you guys don't know, Big E has always been a huge supporter of Dead or Alive. You know, there's times where we may have not had the best event at other places, so to speak, but Big E always does his best to support us and put on for us as well. So every time I come to a Big E event, he does his best to make sure DOA gets a spotlight the correct way. So shout outs to Big E as well for always supporting Dead or Alive. And then we get into the match here. We got Brad Wong, and I'm assuming we're going to see Tina from Katsu. Katsu is a longtime Tina user. So I'm curious to see how Katsu's going to play this matchup. A lot of people don't know that Brad Wong is actually pretty good in this game. He definitely was in Dead or Alive 5.
Well, dang, here we go. All the pressure in the god dang world. Besides chilling it. Oh, here we go. Going straight
nice offensive hold there by Katsu.
All right, building up quite a bit of meter here, too.
Katsu gets caught hitting the buttons. So those of you guys that don't know, if you get hit into those boxes there, any of those partitions or boxes you get hit into, your opponent gets a guaranteed attack or a launcher. You can actually do a break blow as well. So if, let's just say Katsu gets hit into this box. If Maestro wanted to use his break blow right there, it was 100% guaranteed because it is a mid. The only thing is, once you get hit into a partition, it has to be a mid attack follow-up or else it's going to whip. Or low, but you really don't want to do a low in that situation. So.
Wow, that's sick. All right, here we go. Feeling himself out right now. Ooh, we're going to lock it down and get the head grab. Yes, we are.
That is guaranteed every single time.
Dang, it's beautiful when you have that the setup, too.
Nice.
Especially when you got, like, Oki options for days, especially when you're playing Tina. She got mad damage, though. Wild and out.
All right, so Katsu is running away with this right now. My man Maestro needs to get some attacks on the screen. We need to see some back punch from him. That's one of Battleground's best crush moves. And we see Maestro getting his offense started there. Let's see if he can keep it up. Katsu's doing a really good job of just controlling the space and just controlling the neutral game in general. Okay, nice. He gets the bound. I did not know that caused a bound. That is interesting.
Here we go. Okay, Katsu. Putting in this work 24/7, getting the guaranteed follow-up damage like you just talked about recently.
And again, every single time Tina launches you, she's going to take your life bar from you. We literally seen 2 combos from Katsu, and Maestro's almost dead. So if Maestro can close it out, it looks like he might not close it out. One more mix-up could do it on Wake Up, and that's going to do it. Katsu's going to take the first round. Another thing I do want to point out, guys, they're trying to follow Dead or Alive 6 World Championship rules, which we're going to talk about a little later. But again, in top 8 is going to be first to 3. Every match in top 8 is going to be first to 3, according to the Dead or Alive 6 World Championship rules, which we're going to talk a little bit about in the future there. But you know, we're going to get back to the set here. Katsu's up 1-0. I don't know if we're going to see a character change out of Maestro or not. I've never heard of Maestro before. He may have been at other events, maybe by a different name. I don't know. I've never heard of him before. But you know, hopefully he can make his way back into the match here, because Katsu looks very, you see he's very composed. You see he's got his hand on his chin like that. That means that Katsu's feeling himself.
Okay, right now he's just actually changing his buttons. He's changed his button binds. I don't know if he's going to reset them again or what's going on. We had nothing set to S before. All right, there we go.
Okay, so he didn't have a S button, and he didn't go back to the character.
That makes a lot more sense than actually.
That's why we do button checks.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all good. Sometimes you're just waking up in the morning and then you gotta get your coffee in you and then get to tournaments. But do you know what? Game 1, it's all good. New round, new me. We're gonna head into our next game
right.
here.
And again, I do want to talk a little bit about the stages that are banned in the event. I don't know if they have them banned here. I don't imagine. I mean, because they're trying to follow the format for the Dead or Alive 6 World Championship, I would imagine they would have certain stages banned. Obviously, the stage with all the explosions on the bottom, Forbidden Fortune, that stage had to go for various reasons. That stage is really buggy, it's really laggy, and it was just banned by the community. So that stage is gone. We're not going to be seeing any Miyabi, which I'm surprised about because I don't really think there's that many bugs on the stage. But Miyabi's banned, and I believe Unforgettable is banned as well.
Really?
So yeah, and that's one of the best stages in the game.
Yeah,
so,
I'm
I did talk
to
Master, and he did tell me that he was able to tell me that there may be potential that some of these stages will be adjusted in the future so that they can be used in tournament play. But as of right now, they're just too buggy to have on the line.
So. I love the break hold risk, especially when it comes to Unforgettable. But it's all good. Here we go. Mad damage locking down round 1. We got Katsu on the board.
And again, Katsu is just, it looks like he's just running away with this right now. Maestro, he's playing the wake-up game very unsafe. He's standing in front of Katsu, getting hit with wake-up kicks. He's really got to back up and take his time. The way to beat Tina, you have to space her. You have to get away from her. If you're playing in Tina's face and you're not an 11-frame, 9-frame character, you're going to get demolished. 100%.
Yo, that mad damage from the counter hold there was insane, but what has he got? Locking it down. Will this be the 3-0?
And we just see Maestro fly off the screen there. It is not looking good for him right now. All right, so Maestro starts up with the Fatal Rush. No meter by Katsu. Maestro gets the launcher. Nice, gets the hard knockdown. Tries to do a break blow and mistimes it. That is unfortunate.
Okay, and don't forget that we have Katsu with full meter to burn.
Okay.
Doesn't even need to expend it just yet. Ooh.
And again, so we just saw a half wall splat there from Maestro. So some moves that your characters have will cause either a half wall splat, which some people are referring to as the DOA4 wall splat. It'll cause a half wall splat, or it'll cause a full wall splat. The full wall splat, you get a guaranteed combo after. The half wall splat, your character will bounce back. You actually have the ability to hold and break hold after it. So you got to study your characters, make sure you're paying attention to what characters have which kind of wall stuns. And just like that, 3-3K is going to kill. And the crazy part is he had a down throw guaranteed after that too. So Maestro was dead as a doorknob right there.
Dang, that was insane. The momentum that he had going into that was incredible.
Right.
But you know what? An 8 over till it's over, baby. We have to make it runs. It's double limb, so he's got a chance to make it